Welcome back on this new video about Microsoft Word. Today we're going to see how to do a mail merge inside of Microsoft Word. To do so, we have to go on the Mailings tab on the top of our screen. And as you can see, on the left, we have the group of commands called Start Mail Merge, which is what we're going to use today. First of all, on the first group, Create, we can see that inside of Word we can create envelopes or labels. But if we click on Start Mail Merge, we can see that we can also make letters, email messages, or a directory. In today's video, we're going to use the step-by-step mail merge wizard. But if you don't want to use this command, you can find all the steps that you need inside of this ribbon. But for now, let's click on step-by-step, and it will immediately open this menu on the right side of our screen. And the first thing that we need to do is select the type of document that we want to work on today. I'm going to leave letters, but of course you can choose whatever you want. Then we're going to click on Next on the bottom of our screen. And the second step is choosing how to set up the letters. We can choose the current document, start from a template, or start from another existing document. I'm going to start from a template. So I click on this option. And then as you can see here, we get the option to select a template. I click on it and I go on letters. And I'm going to select the essential letter. Click on Create New Template. And then I'll click OK. And right away we'll have the template on our document. Now that we selected the template, we can move to the next step, which is deciding the list of contacts that we want to send the letters to. We can choose an existing list or select one from our Outlook's contacts if we have Outlook connected to our Microsoft Word account, or we can type a new list. Let's type a new list for this video since we don't have an existing one, and let's click on Create. Here we have different columns that Word has created for us that we can fill in with the information that we need. And then to create a new row, we just click on New Entry. And as you can see, we get a new one that we can fill in once again. We can also customize the columns. For example, for today's video, we don't need all of this. So let's click on Customize Columns and delete the first one. Yes. But we can also add a new one if we want to by clicking on Add. And as you can see, you type the name of the field and then click OK, and it will be added on this list. Or we can rename a field that we already have here. For example, let's rename the work phone as mobile phone. So we click on Rename, change the name right here, and then click OK. And as you can see, it has been changed. And now let's delete some of these fields because there are too many. Now that we've changed the columns and we only have the ones that we want or need, all we have to do is fill them in with as many entries as we want. Okay, now that I have filled in all the fields with fake informations, I can click on OK, and I will have to save the list on my computer in order to use it. So let's save it. And now that I saved it, I can use it inside of my Word file. Here I can sort the list in alphabetical order, or I can filter it. For example, I can choose one of these fields, like city, and I want to see only the person that has in the field city, the city of Paris, for example. And if I click OK, as you can see, I only get this fake recipient because in the field city, it has the word Paris. Or I can choose to view all the list except for this one. So instead of equal to, I can choose not equal to or any other of these options. Let's go for not equal to. Let's click on OK. And we can see all the recipients beside the one that had the city of Paris in this field. But right now I want to see them all. So let's go back on filter and click on clear all. Then OK. And they're all back here. I only have 5, so it's really easy to see all of them, but all these options can be useful if you have a longer list. For example, you can find duplicates or find a particular recipient by tapping in one of the fields that can help you identify a particular recipient. Or you can validate addresses to make sure that the email address that you have are actually real and active. But to do so, you need to install an address validation software. Let's click on OK right now. And as you can see, now we have the option to select a different list from the one that we just selected or to edit it. If we edit it, it will open this menu again so that we can, for example, sort it or organize it differently. We can also click on the data source and click on edit. And here we can change the list once again. Let's go now on the following step, on the first step, which is to write the letter. All these words that are inside of the parentheses are the ones that are going to be changed in the different letters based on the recipient that we are going to send the letter to. Now all we have to do is match the fields inside our list with these fields between the brackets. If we don't have a field that matches the brackets in our file, we can either edit the list as we did before by going back and clicking on edit recipient list, or we can use match fields. And as you can see, some fields are already matched, such as first name and first name, because these two fields have the same name. Same thing for surname and city. But for example, if you want to match company, we just click on this arrow and match it with sender company name that hadn't been matched before because the name of the field is different. And we can do this with any field that we want. And once we're done, we click OK. And now we can go, for example, here on type the recipient address, click on more items, and click on email address recipient. Click on insert, and as you can see, it changed here on our file, so we can close it. And now the text between these two brackets will change depending on the different letter that we are seeing. We can type the recipient title as well by going on address block, and we can choose the format in which we want to insert the recipient's name. We can choose just the name, or also the surname, or any of these that we have right here. For example, I would go with name and last name. As you can see here, we can choose if we want to insert the company name or not. And then we can click on OK. And now we have the address block here. Let's do the same thing with the other fields. For these two fields, sender company name and sender company email, instead of clicking here and going on more items, I deleted the whole field and clicked on insert merge field and chose the field that I wanted. And that's because the field is the same for each recipient. And for that reason, Word wouldn't let me match it simply by going on more items and clicking here, because it only lets us match the things that have actually different entries depending on the recipient. For the salutation, we can click here and go on greeting line, and we can choose how we want to address the recipient at the beginning of our letter. We can choose dear, to, or none. And once again, we can choose how to call the recipient. For example, let's go just with the last name. And then we can choose if you want a comma, none, or a column. And then here we can see the preview for the recipients in our list. This is the first one, then we have the second, and so on. Yeah, all of the recipients. Once we are satisfied with what we chose, we click OK. And as you see here, now we have the greeting line. For the closing, we don't have any field to match it with, so we can just delete it. Same with this field, where we can add the sender company email. And for example, we can change this one to another field like mobile phone, since we have it in our list. And now that we've matched every field, we can go to the next step, which is the preview of the letter. Here we can see exactly how the letter will be once we either save it as a PDF or print it. And we can go from one preview to another by using these arrows on the top of our screen. As you can see, we only have 5 recipients, so we only have 5 previews. But if we had more, we could see all of them here. Now that we've seen the preview and we are satisfied with what we have, we can go on the next step. But in case we weren't satisfied with it, we can still edit the recipient list and change the matching fields. So let's go to the next step, where we can either print the letters that we have or edit individual letters. For example, let's click on edit. Let's click on OK. And as you can see, now we can edit either the first preview or the others one by one. If we want to add something just to one letter instead of all of them, this is an easy way to do that. Once we're done editing, we can close this page and go back to where we were before and click on print. We can print all of them, only the current one that we're viewing, or we can choose from which page to print. In this case, we're going to print all, so let's click OK. We can leave all the settings as they are right now, but if you need more copies, you can change the number of copies right here. In this case, I only need one, so I'll click on OK, and I'll save the document in my computer. Click on Save, and now we can open them as a PDF. And as you can see, here we have it, all the different letters that we wrote with the different recipients. So we've seen all the main commands to create a mail merge, and therefore this is the end of the video. Thank you for following me. I invite you to subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for the next videos and to support us, and I'll see you in the next one.